Hello, kindergartners. Today we are going to be finishing our shape robots. And when we finish them, what we're going to do is we're going to do something, it's called printmaking. It's a form of printmaking. It's almost like a stamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to add joints. They're going to kind of look like joints or nuts and bolts that are holding the legs and the arms onto our robot, or maybe even eyes or teeth or detail to the hair. And we're going to be doing that by using these markers and these blocks that are a square shape. So if I were to dip this in the paint and stamp it on my paper, what shape would it make? A circle. You're exactly right, a circle. What about this one? Square. Yes, if I dipped this in paint and printed it, it would make a square. So we have circles and squares that we can add detail to our robots. Now, everyone at your table, you're going to get 2 markers and 2 squares, okay? And with those, you're going to share with the person that sits beside you. So you will have 1 marker and 1 square, and your partner will have 1 to share. So I'll just set these off to the side because I don't have a partner. Alright, so I'm going to add little details to all of the joints, like to where my legs would attach to my body or my arms would attach to my body. So we have 2 different sizes. You can use this size of the circle, this side of the circle, and this side of the circle is a little bit larger than the back side. But what we don't want to do is take the lid off of our markers, because these markers don't work anyways. You don't want to use your marker on your shape robot. We're only using the ends. The same with the blocks. You do not want to take them apart. You want to keep them together so that way you can have something to hold on to. So you're using the square part on this side, and then you're going to use the other side also if you want. So I'm going to just dip the tiny bit into the end of my circle. And when I dip that, I just want to get a little bit of paint. Just a tiny bit of paint. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this one for an eye. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Sometimes you can dip, you only have to dip once and then you can print it twice because there's still paint left on the end of the marker. You don't have to dip it every time. What would happen if I took my marker and I scooped a bunch of paint up and I painted with my marker? That would not be a very good idea. All you want to do is just dip a little bit on the end of your marker. And if you get too much paint on just like that, I just do it right once onto the plate and then it clears it up. And it gets all that extra paint off. So you're wanting to just dip once and then you could probably print 2 or 3 times before you have to dip again. Now, when I'm not using my marker, I'm going to lay it on my paper towel. Everyone's going to have a paper towel to leave your tools on. Now I can use this shape. I'm just dipping a little bit and adding joints. Oops. Uh-oh. What happens if I dip it and it doesn't come out a clear print? It doesn't come out all the way clear. Maybe I didn't have enough paint on it. Exactly. I didn't have enough paint, so all I will need to do is dip it again and try to go right over it. And then there it's fixed. Okay? So you're going to add detail to all of your robot. I'm even going to add some detail. I could do some sort of little design on the shirt. I could do what is called a pattern. A pattern is where you do the same thing over and over. I'm going to use the other side of my square and use this larger square this time. So a pattern is where you do the same thing, but you keep repeating it. Now, when you get done, you should not have a bunch of paint all over your fingers because it's not messy. You're using your marker in the end of this and your square to do the printing. nothing with your fingers. So I'm going to go back and forth. So I'll do circle, square, circle, square. Yes, square. Okay, and I'll do another square here. And then I'll do one more. My last one is going to be a circle. Actually, I could fit one more square on the end of that, so I think that's what I'll do. Do one more. Now that's a pattern that I added to mine. Now, I could add some sort of pattern to my mouth and make it kind of look like teeth. See how I printed 3 times and I only dipped 1 time? That's how you don't get a lot of big mess and globby messes. So we want to try to be as clean as possible. So you and your partner will share this paper plate of paint. So you have to try to keep your paper plate nice and clean. You don't want it to get all messy. Does anyone have any questions? All right, now listen to Miss M for more instructions.